Guys, we are into chapter 5, Egypt. Egypt is usually everybody's favorite unit. This is lesson 1, the Nile River. And it matters because the Nile River was the most important factor in the development of ancient Egypt. Do you like our Bitmojis? Aren't they so cute? I love being a unicorn. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so we are going to talk about the Nile River first and foremost, right? It's most important development in ancient Egypt. So, the Nile River. This was the longest river in the world, more than 4,000 miles long. Flows from the south to the north into the Mediterranean. What I want you guys to do next to this map is I want you to draw an arrow from the bottom of the map to the top of the map pointing to the top, showing that it's going from the south to the north. There is only 2 rivers in the world that flow from the south to the north. That is the Nile River, and does anyone else know what the other one is? It's right by us. It's the St. Johns River. Flows from the south to the north. Okay? It has strong rapids called cataracts. These cataracts are going to end up serving as a barrier because cataracts are like rapid waterfalls. So boats can't pass through them. So this is going to become a very good barrier for them. Oh, look. See? There's cataract, rapid waterfall. No boats getting through there, huh? Okay? The delta was a triangle-shaped land with fertile soil. So not only did you have the Nile River, but then at the top it sort of branched out like this, like a triangle. And there was a fertile area there before the water went into the Mediterranean Sea. There you go. See all the green coming down from the bottom and fanning out like this? The delta was very fertile also. Okay, ancient Egypt had 2 regions. 2. See the 2? Okay, those were Lower Egypt in the north and Upper Egypt in the south. So in this, I need you to think about elevation. So if you look on this map, you'll see in red, it says Lower Egypt, and Lower Egypt is sitting in the north, but Upper Egypt is sitting in the south. I know everything in you is going to want to say, okay, but Upper Egypt goes up top because upper is up top. But that is not the case because it's based on the height of the land. So that means that Upper Egypt just sat higher. The elevation sat higher than Lower Egypt, okay? So it's not about its position or its location. It's about its height, its elevation. The Nile River flooded 2 times a year, leaving behind fertile soil to grow crops. The flooding was very predictable. In Mesopotamia, you got used to the violent, unpredictable flooding. But in Egypt, they figured out that it was predictable because it only came 2 times a year. Okay? So now we're going to move on. Early agriculture. Farmers developed irrigation, and we remember irrigation as our vocab term for Mesopotamia, so we're still using it. They developed irrigation systems to use the waters of the Nile. The Nile provided a stable food supply, crops, fruits, vegetables, fish, wild birds. There were many natural barriers for protection. There were deserts, Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, and cataracts. And I actually want you to put a star by those natural barriers right now. And we are going to be checking to see if you have a star. So make sure that you're filling in the stuff that we're telling you to and adding in the extras because we tell it to you for a reason. Okay? Oh, look there. I love this picture. This picture is showing you how in Egypt it is just nothing but sand and desert until you have that Nile River. And because of the flooding, look at that. In the middle of the desert, you have fertile farmland. Isn't that so cool?
Hi guys, so we want to talk about the Nile civilization and what's going on with its form of government and how it looks in terms of who is leading. So Egypt is 2 separate places, Upper and Lower Egypt, but then the kings come together and they unite these 2 separate regions. So in 3200 BC, there were 2 separate kingdoms going on. But by 3100 BC, Menes had the king of Upper Egypt united both kingdoms. So he was the king of Upper Egypt, and then he put Lower Egypt under his rule into his kingdom. So Narmer and Menes are the same person. So Menes is his Egyptian name, and we didn't know his Egyptian name, but we learned about him through Greek um, writings and things that we found in Greece. And Narmer is what the Greeks called the first king of Israel, first king of Egypt, who united the whole region together. He wore a double crown. He had worn just the white crown when he was the king of Upper Egypt, but then he got the red crown as well for being the king of Lower Egypt together. So he combined them both together, and he had the double crown. We consider him to be Egypt's first pharaoh because he was the first one to use that title as pharaoh. And that's what we call an Egyptian king, an Egyptian monarch. So this is a monarchy, and he passes power down to his son. He founds Egypt's first dynasty. He founds Egypt's first dynasty and a series of rulers. That's a series of rulers from the same family. So a dynasty is a ruling family where everybody's from the same family. So when the dad dies, he gives power to his son. And that is what a dynasty is. So let's look at your hot question. Let's get that over and get it done right. So we want to explain at least 3 ways in which the geography of Egypt helped and protected the people who lived there. So you need to think back to, what did they talk about? Cataracts. That's a vocabulary word. You need to think back about flooding. Predictable, unpredictable. What was it? So you need to include as many vocabulary words as possible in this description down here of how the geography of Egypt helped people. Okay? So that would be everything that we talked about here. So we want to look at the geography of Egypt. You need at least 3 sentences. You need to have as many vocabulary words in there as you can. And you want to make sure that you're using all of the things that you need. All right, then, we will talk to you later. Thanks, guys.